everyone. So welcome to EduTap and welcome to the success story session. Today we have with us Miss Aditi who has cleared the PFRDA Grade A 2025 examination. She's a very practical person and she took such decisions that helped her to reach to this level. She has given various examinations and she will be sharing her learnings in today's session that she has learned by giving various exams in this long, arduous journey of the government examinations. So first of all, welcome Aditi.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And heartiest congratulations to you for clearing this examination.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So first of all, how are you feeling and what was the reaction of your family when you informed them that you cleared the examination?
Ma'am, the feeling is still sinking in, and I pinch myself every day to feel myself that okay, you've cleared it. So it's not nothing like you have to get up in the morning and start with your studies again.
Okay, really nice. And what was the reaction of your family?
Ma'am, first of all, my parents were not willing to believe because they've always had this practice of, when there's this PDF and you find in your name and then you search your roll number. So they were like, कि अभी roll number नहीं आया, अभी ये result नहीं हो सकता है. Maybe someone else has forwarded you the mail. So they were not ready to believe. But when they saw that after 10-15 minutes, they saw that my roll number. So yes, they were very happy.
Okay. Or now let's start with the session and let's inform the students about your educational qualification. So can you share your educational qualification as well as the exam? Like how did you started in this government body exam, the regulatory body examination for the government examination?
Okay, ma'am. First of all, thank you, EduTap, and thank you, ma'am, for having me here and giving me this opportunity wherein I can share my experience and my learning. And talking about myself, I took commerce in class 11th and 12th, and thereafter I pursued my graduation and post-graduation from LSR and SRCC respectively. And post that, just like any enthusiastic government job aspirant, I started off with my preparation for UPSC. I went to old Rajendra Nagar and got my content and everything. And I made my timetable and I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. So I started, and then 3 months into the preparation, I completed my commerce and accountancy optional. And I realized that I'm not brave enough to pursue this because I felt that it's a very like all the exams are uncertain, but I felt that given the long journey that it has, like in 1 year you are able to give only one exam, and if in case you're not able to clear, then this thought used to scare me a lot. So I shifted to other alternatives. Back then, regulatory body exams in 2020 and 2021 was not very popular as they are today. So I thought SSC could be one such backup option. So I started for preparing for SSC, and I gave SSC, CGL mains and prelims and mains in 21 and 22. And I still remember it was 24th of Jan 2022. And I saw this YouTube video of EduTap, which said that there's this last day to apply for SEBI. And from then onwards, I got to know that, okay, there are these regulators in the country, and through these examinations, we have this opportunity to be a part of this reputed institutions. So I made up my mind that, okay, this is what I want to do. And in 1 year, I'll first have an opportunity to go for like multiple exams, and then maybe like I would clear in a year or two. So I had, with this faith, I began my journey for regulatory body exams. In 2022, I gave RBI, SEBI, and NABARD. However, as my preparation was not up to the mark, and I also felt it because like I felt that like there's much more effort needed. And in 2023, I became a little bit serious, and it also reflected in my preparation, wherein I could reach up to the mains. And also 2023, I felt NABARD came as a blessing in disguise, wherein I reached up to the interview stage. And I felt that I'm very close to clearing this exam. And when I finally did not see my name in the list, I was like, it was completely shocked. And 2024 has been a very, very challenging year for me in terms of my both mental and emotional quotient and health. So 2024, I struggled a lot. And 2025, I gave 2025 as the year that this is the last year for your preparation. And after this, I might like maybe pursue other things, maybe go for MBA or CA, CFA, whatever. So 2025 was the last year that I gave myself.
Okay, so I can say it was a long, arduous journey, but you have achieved what you have achieved today because of the efforts that you have put in the previous years. And now coming to the next question, that is, what was the biggest challenge that you faced in your preparation journey? Because you prepared since 2021 till 2025. So in this long preparation journey, what was the biggest challenge that you faced?
Ma'am, like when I look at myself, look back at myself, I've always been a very confident person. Like during my school days, also I was one of the head girl of my school, and I always held myself like very confident and outgoing, and not doubting any of my decisions. Even in college, also I was very confident that I'll not like put much efforts for my placements, and because I had this thing in my mind that my parents also wanted me to join government sector. So I was very carefree and I was like, it's like 1 or 2 years of preparation and I will get through. So this was my mindset.
Mhm.
However, with failures that lined up during my preparation phase, it has transformed me into a different individual that I am right now. And especially 2024 being the very, very like challenging year, wherein I like things did not go well both in my personal, academic, and professional life as well. So it was a very tough year, and like when I see myself coming out of it, I feel like, okay, like it was a great challenge. However, I could face it bravely.
And how did you overcome this challenge? Like 2024 was a difficult year for you, but how did you overcome this challenge?
Firstly, in 2024, I was very adamant that I would get through SEBI anyhow. And for SEBI, I like put it like I've put in my heart and soul and everything. However, on the day of prelims, I don't know what happened. Like I got freezed in the middle of the exam, and 5-10 minutes I could not process what's going. And especially
Mhm.
paper one was little on the tougher side, I believe. And so I got stuck for 5-10 minutes. I could not process what should I do. I was just sitting there blank. And then I realized that I need to overcome this. Like there's this fear, there's this apprehension that this is not going to come in my way. And then I realized that I'm not mentally well, maybe. So from that time onwards, I resorted to many things. I tried maintaining my composure during the exams. I like immediately after the SEBI prelims results were out, I started off with NABARD ASAP. Like there was 24 days to NABARD, and I started it ASAP. And I've written it also 24 days to NABARD. Make every day count. So I started off with NABARD, and mains did not go well. I was again very very depressed. So I was told by my mother that even though there's 90% of your efforts that you put in the exams, but there's also this 10% which is luck. And for that 10% to go in your favor, you have to believe in powers which are beyond your control. So she showed me that there is this Almighty who is like taking care of everything. And she told me that सुबह उठो, थोड़ा सा try to be in a routine, and go and visit temple, offer prayers, tell God to give you strength. So from January 1, 2025, like without fail, I've been visiting temple daily. And there used to be this 5-10 minutes in a day wherein I would go and sit behind the Almighty and say that, see, these are my problems. आज मेरा एग्जाम था, या फिर आज मेरा मॉक था, मेरा मॉक में अच्छे मार्क्स नहीं आए, या फिर मैं आज पढ़ नहीं पाई उतना, या 4 घंटे मुझे पढ़ना था, मैंने सिर्फ 2 घंटे पढ़ा. So these I used to talk to him and share everything. Like these are my problems. I had an argument with someone or anything, and I would like put entire pressure that I had to the Almighty and tell him that, see, this is your problem now, and you have to take care of it. So this practice made me very, very relaxed. And 2025 was one such year wherein I did not fear exams as much I used to fear back then. And by God's grace, I was very, very lucky to have met people who've been a very, very important part of my journey this year. And they've been there to support me. They've been there to help me whenever I was like striding low on my confidence. And they would say, "Ki, इस बार PFRDA हो रहा है." So I was very lucky this year.
Yes, mental health and physical health is something that we ignore during the preparation phase. Like we are
True,
so
true, true,
focused on something that we are forgetting about ourselves also. So
true,
that is a very good point that you stated that, okay, you took care of your mental health this year, that is in 2025, and that showed results to you. Like you can take care of mental health at like through any process. Like you took care of your mental health by waking up in the morning and going in front of the God and the Bhagwan, and you took care it in that way. Someone can take care of their mental health through yoga, through badminton, through any other
Yeah,
thing.
anything.
Yes, the point here is that you have to take care about the mental health. Otherwise, it can lead to making you more stressed and depressed, and that will show in your results also. So that is a very good point that you stated, that some like this is something that we ignore, and this is something that we have to take care that can show us the results that we want. Now, coming to the next point, did you ever feel the pressure from your family? Like there is always the family pressure, na कि हमें कुछ करना है, otherwise what the family will think, what the relatives will think, what the other people will think, or what they will say. So, did you ever feel this pressure?
Yes, ma'am, there was certainly this pressure. However, I was fortunate enough that my parents have always been there, and my younger brother, he's 6.5 years younger to me, but still he behaves as if he's very mature. Every failure, he's been there to support me. So in that terms, I was very lucky. However, like in extended relatives, I could feel that there are people who are saying कि इतने साल से पढ़ रही है, अभी तक कुछ नहीं हो पाया, and like I come from a very traditional family wherein people are like, "Is se acha to you could have spent in a wedding or something like that, and not in our education maybe." So I could hear these things, but then again, I could see my parents, I could see my mom, my dad, and my brother. They were always there. So I just shut the clutter, and I was like, "This is what I want to do, and I'm not answerable to anyone else."
Correct. That is true. Like family support is very important.
Yeah,
And
true.
now coming to the next question, that did you ever feel in yourself also, na, ki you have come from a very good college, like Delhi University, SRCC. So you come from a very good background in terms of the college. But then after that, you started your preparation and your government examination journey, and you can see your friends like reaching to the high post, earning the good remuneration and being well settled. So did you ever feel like, yeah, I should leave this journey and I should start the private job and I should start this other journey so that I can like have something?
Ma'am, definitely when you see your friends, not even like, even if you're not jealous, but still, when you see your friends, they're earning well, they're having the fun of their life, and then you have to again sit the other, like every day you have to sit and study for 8 to 9 hours, and that's boring routine and everything. I did feel bogged down many times, but like, then I used to like introspect and talk to myself that this is the decision that you've taken. This is the
Mm.
decision that your father wanted. So why are you questioning yourself now? And also, I had this confidence in mind, like I used to take up things like I have this create like I'm very fond of doing any creative work, be it painting or something like that. So I developed this interest of interior designing. So through my father's contact, I used to get interior designing projects and everything. So I had this confidence that if I step into earning, I will be able to make a good amount. I had this confidence in me कि if today I start something of my own, and if I today if I have to support my living and be financially independent, I can do it any day. I also had a job offer from a local school. It was a CBSE school, so they were willing, like even without B.Ed and the requirement, like the qualifications required for a teacher, I had this offer. So I was very confident that if it is to earn, then any day I'll make money. So this gave me a lot of confidence that ये तो मतलब government job is something that I want to do, and I want to see myself as a government employee wherein I'm able to balance both my personal life and professional life, and like 3 years 4 years down the line where I'll have my own family, I'm able to give time to my family as well, and things are not going to sacrifice on that end, because corporate becomes, I feel, a little challenging. I might be wrong, there might be people who might disagree with me, but this is what I have had the mindset that when it comes to corporate career, you thoda sa sideline your personal life as well. And I come from a family wherein my father has been very considerate. Ki, nahi, this is career is also important, but your personal life is also as important as like your career is. And especially when it comes to females, it is the female that shapes the entire family. So I felt that being a government employee, I'll be able to satisfy both my aspects.
Correct. Thank you for this answer. Really well said, I can say. And now going to the next question, that you were following your hobbies, like you said that you are a very creative person. So during this preparation journey, did you follow this creative side and did you follow your hobbies, or did you sideline it for your preparation that many of the aspirants actually do?
Ma'am, like if it's like 2 months to the exam or to like the exam cycle has started because it usually starts around May and then ends by December. So during that time, I would not follow anything. I would just it'll be like eat, sleep, and repeat and study. This was all that I followed. And like during January and December, like used to be a little free if you were not giving any interviews. So during that time, I used to practice a lot of like I am fond of doing painting, creative works, and also embroidery on clothes and everything. So I enjoyed those things.
Okay. And which was the exam that where you felt that you didn't expect the results that you were expecting? Many of the times we think that okay, the success is there, but which was the examination that didn't give you the results that you were expecting?
Ma'am, NABARD was one such exam wherein I did like I felt like I've done extremely well in mains. I got 42 in objective, and I felt that I'm almost there. And like when the interview went, I felt that my interview was on a slightly tougher side. And like people were asked very easy questions on RI, what is RIDF and what is like farmer club, farmer FPO organizations. And I what when I had my interview, I felt that it was very tough. Like they started with asking corporate governance circular of RBI, and then what is MCDEX and multi commodity derivative exchange and everything. And so I felt my interview was on a tougher side, and I believe that I was able to answer to their satisfaction. However, when I saw the results and I did not find my name, it was very shocking to me. And also that I gave my heart and soul to SEBI and 2024. And like even though I did not do one of the subjects, I scored around 70.5, 71 or 70.5 in prelims of paper two. And paper one, I scored 28.13. It was just one question that would have sailed me through SEBI. And I believe that I was mains ready before prelims itself. So that was very shocking. But when I see myself now, like PFRDA was any day like the best thing that could have happened to me, because I always wanted a stable job wherein there's not much transfer issues, and like Delhi is very close to my hometown Kanpur. So any like within 5 hours I could visit my parents, and like on the weekends I can come here and go back. So in this perspective, I think everything that has happened has shaped like paved my path to what I am right now and what I've got. So it's all by the grace of God.
True. Now, the like before moving to the next part, a question is that like can you share some of the learnings that you have got in the journey in the preparation journey with the students, like some of your learnings that you have got?
Ma'am, the first and the foremost thing is there's no shortcut to preparation. Like I've been there, done that. I've found shortcuts. I've done like थोड़ा सा summary पढ़ लेते हैं और पूरा कौन पढ़ेगा PDF. I've done that all like everything. But now the exams are such you don't know what they are gonna ask, and you have to know things at length and breadth. So there's no shortcut to preparation. This time I've not like I used to restrict myself to one source, and it's like I've done it now. I don't need to practice. It's okay. I'll revise one day before the exam. But this time I've not done anything of that sort. I refer sources. I compiled my own notes. I went through test series. Like I took up like test series I completed in 2024 when I was doing for SEBI. So I revised my concepts, also additionally made inputs from ICI material and everything. And also I used to refer to my graduation and post-graduation books if there's any doubt. For instance, there was this doubt regarding if bad debts are to be treated as selling and distribution cost in a cost sheet. So this was one such question that I had in my mind. So I would go and look everywhere in my graduation and post-graduation books. So I think like this time it was little a lot extra than what I used to do for other exams, and I think it has paid me off well.
Yes, yes. Like this point, I also want to highlight that now the level of the exam and the questions that are coming is not something that you can just do with the basic of the preparation. Now you have to study more, you have to go more in depth, especially in the subjects that have more weightage. Like ESI for NABARD or like for ESI for RBI static, you can do the basics. But in finance and management in ARD, the subjects that have more weightage, you have to go more in depth. And the students are usually like कि मैम समरी शीट पढ़ लूँ कॉन्सेप्ट नोट छोड़ दूँ कि ये पढ़ लूँ ये छोड़ दूँ. So I was like the material has been given with the perspective that you study that material. So that is a very good point that you have stated. Ki now you have to study because the exams are of such level and you want to become the officer. And it's not like that you're studying for a small job or something. You are studying for a officer rank, that also in RBI, NABARD, PFRDA, SEBI like organizations. So well said. Now moving to the next question. Now we are going to go to the part 2 and we are going to start with our sources and the strategy for the examination. Okay, so let's get
Yes,
started.
ma'am.
Okay. So let's start with the sources. So can you share your sources for the different components for the different subjects, especially the paper 2 in the phase 1 and phase
So
2?
So, ma'am, I want to be very, very genuine, and I would want to list my sources extensively. So, there were two main sources that I followed. One was EduTap, and the other one was Raman sir's course. And apart from these sources, I've also made my, like for economics, I made my own notes. And I also preferred, went through my graduation and post graduation notes. And I also did inputs from ICI and CMA material. So yeah, for sources, this was all that I've done.
Okay. Can you tell about the subject-wise sources? Like you have stated broadly. So now can we
Mm.
discuss like in the subject-wise manner that what were the sources and what was the strategy also for the particular source?
So for cost accounts, like I divided my preparation into two parts. Like every day, 4 hours I used to give to cost and accounts because these were the practical subjects wherein I did not want any question to go wrong in my exam. So 4 hours every day, commerce and accounts and costing without fail. 2 hours commerce and accounts, 2 hours costing. So for costing and commerce and accounts, I did not refer the new content of EduTap. There was this old content of 2021 wherein there were these presentation slides. So from those slides, I made my own notes. I also made inputs from Raman sir's course, and then I compiled my own material and then practiced the questions. And whenever I had to revise, so I would only revise my own notes because they are compiled and like curate, like comprehensive. So I would revise like I don't know the number of times that I might have like my I can show my notes. My notes are all worn out. See the pages and everything is done. So this is entire AS2 accounting standard 2 in one page, where every word on every word there can be a question formed. So I curated such content for all subjects, and like accounts, I can show there are these are around 30 to 40 pages, and my entire accounts is in these 30 to 40 pages. So before the exam, before prelims, before mains, I would only revise these 40 pages, and that's it. So this was my strategy for both cost and accounts. Make notes like I used to scribble whatever, and Hindi maybe I've written everywhere like to make it more interesting. So I used to write कि ऐसा नहीं होगा, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो ऐसा हो जाएगा. So like like I've written यहाँ पर भी return allotment होता है, something like that. So with these things I developed pictographic memory when it comes to Companies Act and management, because management and Companies Act is huge and it's very difficult to remember such things. And like I can show for management also, this is EduTap summary sheet. And like even though there was this diagram, I tried making a diagram again here so that I can have roughly have an idea. So these were the things that I did for like theory subjects. For economics, I had my own notes. And for finance, I primarily referred Raman sir's material first and then added content from EduTap also. So finance notes are very, very like they are huge. But however, for some certain important topics, I made notes. Like, see, this is bonds chapter note. So on every word, there can be a question. Every from previous year question to everything, I curated like notes like these. And for important topics, I would refer my own notes. And for economics, I had this 20 pages notes. This is macro, I guess. This is, yeah, this is macro and this is micro. So I had this 40 pages note and I would refer only these. And for pension, again, I refer to Raman sir's notes like primarily. And then I added content from EduTap. So this is Raman sir's note and this is all the content that I've added from EduTap. So I used to curate my content in such a way that at one place I have everything. I was never a person who was comfortable reading digitally or in a laptop or in mobile phone. So I had this habit wherein I am writing, I'm reading, I'm listening to my own voice. All my senses are like involved when I'm studying. So this was my practice for all the subjects.
Okay, really nice, I can say. So majorly you had two sources, EduTap and Raman sir. And here you, for finance and pension, you followed Raman sir's. And for the rest of the subjects, you followed EduTap's. And for economics, you had your own college notes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For any, like for economics, you want to share any book or...
Ma'am, there's this class 11th and 12th ICSE
Mhm.
books. I felt that these are like people do want to go to NCRTs, but I felt like I've always studied in ICSE, so I felt ICSE books are better than CBSE. Like people might disagree with me, but then I was more comfortable referring to my own book. So class 11th and 12th, I did demand, supply, everything like laws of variable proportion, everything. They've been given in extremely details. And then talking of macro and micro, I refer to my graduation notes, which I made during BCom honors. So I've done, yeah, economics was like I've done it all by myself.
Okay, so we have discussed about the paper two because that is the most important chunk in the phase one as well as in phase two. But now in phase one, you have paper one that has GA, arithmetic or reasoning, and your quant and reasoning and English. So GA, quant, reasoning, and English. So did you focus on all the four components in the paper one of the phase one, or did you only focused on one or two or three subjects?
So ma'am, it also depends upon individual to individual, and also like one needs to introspect if what is your level of like quant, reasoning, and English.
Hmm.
Like I was someone whom I felt like I'll be able to do decently in English, wherein I'll be able to score at least 22 to 23 marks out of 25, and I need to score only 30. I was not good with quant and reasoning. Like the only time that I've learned and practiced quant and reasoning was when I was preparing for SSC, and that too banking maths. Banking maths is very separate, like different from what we do in SSC. So that was the only time that I studied maths, and then I've left it on Bhagwan ji to like help me clear the exams. So quant and reasoning I did not do anything, but yes, if I was not sure, then I would probably go for GA. Like there has to be two subjects that you're very good at, and GA also. It's like even though you will have to go through 2 months current affairs, but now like in exams like SEBI, IFSCA, and PFRDA, you need to know the static finance. Static finance, like something that happened in 2021, is now static finance for today, be it
Hmm.
any circular that has come up with, or any limits that have been increased. For instance, this year that limit for PSL norms have been revised. So these are PSL is something like related to finance, which is static also. But then if there are amendments that have been made to it, you need to know it, and they are asked in such in such exams in GK portion. So even if you're not doing those sports obituaries, you need to know the finance and economics and banking current affairs. So, and schemes, financial schemes for sure. And I would want to say that scheme tabs has been my like most favorite document. Like if there's any exam, I would like take the printouts and like from front to end and end to front again. I would revise scheme tabs multiple times, be it NABARD, be it RBI, be it any exam. And I have got used to that format, like launch year, then nodal agency, implementing agency, and then so I've got used to reading schemes in those format. Even though I'll refer to the original like document maybe, but I felt that EduTap was more than comprehensive when it comes to scheme. So scheme tab was my favorite document.
Okay, really nice to hear that. And I will share the feedback with Gurkira sir also, who takes care of
Mm.
these documents. So thank you for that. Okay, now moving forward. So we have discussed about the paper one in the phase one, that if you are good in at least two of the subjects and have one subject as the like additional one, then you can forget about the fourth one. You do not have to put too much time in GA. If you are good in quant and reasoning, you are good in English. But if you are not good in the other subjects, then yes, you have to like get the 30
True,
marks,
true, true.
however you are getting, right? So, and we have discussed about the
And
paper
ma'am,
two also.
I would also want to tell people that do take paper one very seriously, because I've borne the brunt of it. SEBI 2024 was very like it was a nightmare for me, and I never felt that I would not clear like sectional like 30 marks is something that is very nominal, and like it happens on a bad day, anything can happen. So I would want people to take this seriously as well.
Okay. Now coming to the paper two, that also we have discussed about the different subjects. Now we can go to phase to paper one. So in the phase two, paper one also, many of the students take it very light. Taking English descriptive, we have been writing essays for like since school we have been writing essays. So is it right to be taking the English descriptive to be like so lightly when it contains so much of the marks? And did you prepare
Ma'am,
for it?
I believe like once you start giving exams, you write descriptive answers and everything. You get a hang of where you are standing at what level. Like if you're scoring in the range of 56 to 60, it means that you are okay, you're good to go, but you need something to make your score above 60. And I felt like I always felt that I'm good in English, I'll be able to write well, and descriptive has always been my strength. But then there were times that I felt my scores were really, really less. Like there were people whom I felt like I would score better than them, but and I found that they are scoring 64 and I'm scoring only 58. So that 6 marks difference is huge.
Mm.
So to like you, but English is something which is very like it's very subjective. Like you never know what happens, and you never know how you are being marked. So at least you can do the minimum that is required. At least like we can go through essays, we can read a few quotes, have a body intro, body conclusion format, and decide like what you how you're gonna start an essay. If there's, for instance, there's an essay on climate change, how will you start that essay? If there's an essay on AI or blockchain technology, how will you start that essay? So these hot topics, we can at least have our own notes and prepare and replicate the same in the exam. And for comprehension, it's all your skills, like the how, like if you're able to comprehend it in the exam in the given time frame and you're able to write the answers, then I think you're good to go. And the most challenging part I feel is completing the paper, because wherein the vacancies are such less in exams like these, you cannot afford to miss even a question. Like I've seen paper like people who've scored really really well in paper two, however they could not clear the mains because they maybe left out a question or they did not complete like conclude their essays well. So the biggest task I think is completing the paper. And I would also want to mention that IFSA 2023, I missed a question and I scored 52 in English, like 7 marks question, I missed it in comprehension. So it's a very, very like it's very, very important imperative to complete the paper. So it's like flex your fingers before on the D day, flex your fingers on keyboard, type if you feel that your typing speed is not good. Try to like read a passage and try to get the meaning of it. Even if you're not writing it, see that you are able to comprehend that passage really well. Test your comprehensive skill before going to the exam. This is all I would want to say.
Okay. And how much time did you invest in the English descriptive part? Because between the phase one and phase two, you don't have much time, like around a month, we can say. And you have to revise so many of the subjects as well as you have to practice for the English descriptive. So between phase one and phase two, did you invest any time, and how much, approximately how much time did you invest, and what did you do in that time?
Ma'am, for English, I think there were 10 days left for mains. And I started like whenever I was tired of like doing accounts and everything. So I would lay down and read essays, talk to my friends, ask them कि अगर ऐसा ऐसे आया तो तुम क्या लिखोगे? So my friends used to tell me that you can write this, you can write this. And for Pressy, I did not do anything much. Comprehension, I remember I did practice one comprehension. I like took out the EduTap's क्या कहते हैं last previous year question paper, and I practiced comprehension and I saw that I was able to complete it in 20-25 minutes. So I said that comprehension I'm good to go. So like if you consider, like if I talk about the amount of time that I've invested, it is really, really low. But then again, I had the confidence that I'll be able to manage English descriptive well. So it all depends upon your level of like your assessment of how well or how much efforts you need to put in for
Yeah.
descriptive.
So now I think we can move to the interview round. And how was the interview for you? And how nervous you were before entering that like room where you had to give the interview?
So, ma'am, I was made to wait around 10 to 15 minutes before entering the room. There was this another candidate, like I was fifth to go that day, and that time frame was very, very nervous, and I could see, like, sense my hands are sweating, and I'm like, even if though it was cold, but I was sweating. So I was very, very anxious. However, I faked a smile and gathered all my courage and went straight through the interview. So when the interview started, it was really, really well. I gave a very good, like, I felt like I gave a very confident introduction, and like, I gave it in a way that they would not ask for my gap years. So, and they did not initially. And the chairman sir started, and he started with deep finance questions on capital budgeting and capital asset pricing model, Sharp ratio, Trinor ratio, systematic, unsystematic risk, beta coefficient. They also asked me the formula for CAPM model. So I did, like, go through all these things, and I was able to answer them well. And I could sense that the chairman is satisfied. And then the lady panelist took over, and that was very, very, like, tragic. And she started like, you've done things to keep yourself engaged, but you've not done anything on the professional front. So you've technically not been doing anything. You were not productive. So this, like, I got a little scared, and then I tried to tell her that no, I've been doing things. I've been preparing for exams. These exams are not easy, and you need to, like, it's you need to have this journey of prep before you get through round, like, final selection. And then she said, like, how have you prepared and everything. So I was not clear with what she's trying to ask. So, like, at the end, when I could not understand what she's trying to ask, I very humbly asked, like, ma'am, could you please be specific as to what exact thing that you would want me to tell, so that I'm able to answer your question well? To this, she said that it's not my interview, dear, it's your interview. And I froze at that moment. I felt that I've messed it up. And then I apologized to her, ki, ma'am, sorry if I'm not able to answer you well. And I'll definitely go back and check on my knowledge and read more about what I should have read. And then the next panelist took over. He asked me about AQI and FAME scheme, and I could not remember the target. However, I knew that it is a scheme from 2019 or 21, I don't know. So I told the full form, and I said I do not remember the targets. And he then asked for sustainable financing and what is government doing. So I listed steps like under alternative investment fund, there's this category one wherein you invest in sustainably, like, economically sustainable projects and everything. So I mentioned all those things, and then the last panelist took over. Then I prepared marketing really well, because I had my minors in marketing. So, and I could observe that PFRD is on that phase wherein it is trying to expand, and it is trying to bring more products into the market, wherein, like, from NPS, people are switching to UPS. So, and probably then, like, they are also going to do something for the farmers, like like, I think NPS for agripreneurs and NPS for e-shramik, the unorganized sector. So I could feel that they are going to do a lot of marketing and everything. So I prepared that really well. And luckily I was asked question on that, wherein I also got a bit, like, technical, wherein I mentioned that you can go for search engine optimization and there are landing pages and everything. So I intentionally used those technical jargons, even though I was not, like, very well versed with them, but I did use those technical jargons to give a good impression of myself. And luckily that also went really well, and I felt that he was satisfied. He also asked me questions on insurance and everything, and what do you understand by unorganized sector. So, but coming out of the interview room, I felt that I've messed it up. I remember I called one of my friend immediately, and I told him, see, this is what has happened. And I was sitting in the cafeteria, and I was ranting all things. Ki, this is what I've gone. I feel I've done it really bad. She was not happy with me, and he was trying to calm me down. They, no one, don't worry, everything will be fine. And I then called up my mom and narrated the entire incident. And I have, like, these, like, last के 5-6 दिन were very, very difficult for me, because I felt that I've really messed it up. And even though I have, like, I was expecting around 82 to 85 marks in mains paper 2. So I felt that even though I'm scoring a very good uh, score in paper 2, however, I've messed it up in the interview. But then when the results were out, it was like utter shock, surprise, and everything.
But your mains marks must have also played a good role
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
And that shows, because interview is like the D-Day, but it is very uncertain. So
Yeah,
you
yeah, true,
have
true, true.
to focus on your phase two marks and
True,
something
true, true.
you have to prepare very well for the phase two, because again interview is very uncertain. However well you are preparing, like you had told us the instance of the NABARD interview. According to you, you gave your best and you were the best at that time, but the results did not show. So similarly, like interview, you cannot depend on interview. You have to do well in the phase two. Now, okay, so we are towards the end of the session. But before that, did you do any certification courses? Because many of the students at this point of time, they are trying to do certification courses for the different exams that they are giving. So did you do any certification courses?
Ma'am, I did too, but I feel like even though like one can do certification courses and list them that on their DAF or PIQ form, but you need to have a very, very thorough knowledge.
Hmm.
Like if you mention it just for the sake of mentioning it and you're not able to support it, then it gives a very, very bad impression. And I've listened to instances wherein people have mentioned and they were not able to justify. So it's very, very important what you mention in your DAF and you're able to justify it or not. For instance, I mentioned marketing and I did a certification course on it by Coursera. And but I was well prepared. Like even though if they would have asked any counter questions on marketing, and also because I had marketing as my minor subject, and hence I went for that certification. So do things that are like that you can actually defend and actually match your background, not giving them an impression that you did it just for because you had cleared mains or you are appearing for the interview. So be very clear with the intentions that how you would want to portray your certification courses. Like even like there are people who do not do anything and then they are able to get through
Mhm.
just by their knowledge. So it's very important how you present it.
Okay. Now, coming to the last leg of the session, do share some message to the students and some last comments for the students so that they also prepare in the right manner and in the right path. So, any last like message that you want to share for the students?
Ma'am, I like this is what I've written it for myself, and I would want to share the same. So I am someone who like initially I was very confident that I would I'll be able to clear, but then I became someone who was very, very low on confidence. I felt I could not even do simple 2 plus 2 in the exam. I felt like I went till that stage wherein I felt that I'll not be able to do anything, no matter how hard I study, I'll not be able to do anything. So just have that confidence, have that patience in you. Like even if things are worst, there will be a time when things go best for you, and just you just have to be patient. So first of all, I would want to say do not take a toll on yourself, because if you put yourself into that phase wherein you are cursing yourself, you're saying you're not sufficient, you might have taken some other decisions in life, you're cursing your surroundings, everyone involved. So do not take a toll on yourself and try to make your personal and professional life thoda sa different, because when you feel that this like your entire life depends upon this one exam wherein there are things that you would get only after getting selected. So just try to detach both the things. And secondly, I would want to say that surround yourself with people who actually want good for you. Like apart from your parents, I think hardly there is anyone who would not want good for you before himself. And our parents are the only people who would want your good by compromising their own good. So surround yourself with parents, with your siblings, with your good friends who would really want to see you succeed in life, and talk to them. Like even if earlier I used to feel like मम्मा को क्या पता होगा, उनको कैसे समझाऊं मैं 2/3 1/3 क्या होता है. So this time I used to talk to her कि मम्मा देखो ऐसा होता है, इंग्लिश का मार्किंग ऐसा होता है, you don't know if you get good marks in English or not. So these things kept me very relaxed. When I tell them that this is something which is challenging, even if I put in efforts, I might not be able to get the results. And this mere acceptance that you've done your best, however, there's this time when everything will fall in place and you'll get selected. So you have to explain this to yourself. And thirdly, I would want to say that keep your things very private. I've written. And this is one thing that I feel that people out there on Telegram, they are like discussing their scores and everything. Not that I'm a too much believer in evil eye or something like that, but it's like when you say things explicitly and you put it in front of 10 people, you become all the more accountable to get results. So when you keep things to yourself, when you tell things only to your people who will not judge you if you do not achieve it. So your accountability reduces. So why do you want to put extra pressure by telling 1,000 people that you've scored such and such, and ultimately you don't see yourself qualifying means? So try to keep yourself, things to yourself, and only tell when the results are out. Like this time, I think no one was knowing that if I'm giving PFRDA or I'm giving RBI or I'm giving SEBI or whatever. So like even though it looks little rude when people are specifically trying to ask कि तुम्हारा score क्या था and और कौन सा exam तुम ले रही हो, but then I would dodge it in a very decent and polite way कि like okay, I have my own things, I'll tell when the time is right. So this is how I used to dodge people. And lastly, I've written there's no shortcut to preparation, which I've already discussed. Just do everything that you can. Like even if it takes 12 hours, you're feeling pain, your mind is not good, you don't want to study, you want to sleep, you have a headache, anything, just do it. Like anyhow, just do it. Even if you studied 10 minutes in a day, next day get up, study, just do it. There's no shortcut to it.
Correct. Now,
And also, like one thing I would want to mention, there are people who are very disciplined. Like they feel कि अगर सुबह नहीं उठे जल्दी and अगर हमने 10 बजे या 8 बजे या सुबह 6 बजे पढ़ाई नहीं स्टार्ट करी तो पूरा दिन बेकार चला गया. So come out of this mindset. Like I am someone who's very indisciplined. I sleep late. I have a very bad lifestyle, and like I try to keep fit, but however, I have this weight problem wherein I put on and lose weight very like in a very short span of time. So I have very unhealthy lifestyle. However, I did not let this unhealthy lifestyle pattern affect my studies. So as long as it's not impacting your studies, it's all good. Even if you are scrolling 4 hours on Instagram, it's good if you are studying 10 hours every day. So it's just that you have to make a balance. Even if you are indisciplined, you're not getting up in the morning, you're going hard, going at night, partying, doing whatever. If you're giving your required hours, then it's all good.
correct. And did you use social media while you were preparing?
Yes, ma'am. I was never like every day, like after every hour or two of like studies, I used to scroll, right, 10 minutes of reels, watch YouTube shorts, listen to songs. I was always there.
And कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा that I'm wasting my time, I could have invested this time, because this is the usual mindset when we are preparing, na, that I am wasting my time. In the back of the mind, it is going on.
Ma'am, I knew it that I'm wasting my time, but I was like कि चलो देखा जाएगा, कल कर लेंगे अच्छे से. Like every day, I would tell myself कि आज नहीं पढ़ा, चलो कल अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. I would make up for it.
Yes.
And I
But
used to make sure that I make up. Like अगर मैंने कुछ like I used to list down कि एक दिन में इतना करना है, 2 दिन में इतना करना है. This used to be my diary, and every day I used to list कि देखो एक दिन में ये करना है या 2 दिन में करना है. Like if I've written one in front of certain thing, so I have to complete that in one day only. So this was like in this perspective, I was very strict with myself, not strict with what I do during the entire day.
okay. So you knew that how to maintain the balance. You knew that you have to study, but you knew that you should not be putting too much pressure on your brain. So you were also having that relaxed time so that you can come up for the preparation with a fresh mind, right? And one last question, that how EduTap has helped you in this journey.
Ma'am, not only in this journey, but for other exams as well. Like for NABARD, I used to again use two sources, Clarity and EduTap. And as I said, SchemesTap was my most favorite document. And like for every exam that I've taken, I had EduTap by my side. Like I used to refer notes, I used to appear for test series, be it free. Like there were times that I did not purchase course. I had my material because I have this habit of reading it like in a like hard copy format. So, so I would say that like when my journey started, it was because of that EduTap's video. So EduTap has been like an imperative part of my journey, and I've had referring its notes and everything, and especially like computer and decision making play. I remember I only relied on I think Jalat sir's two sessions. Like he used to take 2-3 sessions, previous year questions, and 2-3 sessions on like marathon sessions on decision making and computer, and that was all I did. Like I did not go through those long compilations. That was all I did. So yes, EduTap has been an important part.
Okay, thank you so much, Aditi, for joining the session and for coming and giving this interview. And thank you so much for your time, and all the very best for your journey ahead. I know you will do very good in the PFRDA. You have been a very positive, like you have given your 4 years in this preparation journey, but I can see the positivity that you have been gathering. I can see it in yourself, and I hope you do really well in the organization.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.